Thought for 11 as I slammed the car door shut, the echo swallowed by the endless stretch of desert highway. Sarah, what the hell? I yelled, but her taillights were already shrinking into the shimmering heat haze. We'd pulled over for a quick break, some roadside diner in the middle of nowhere, 200 miles from home. She said she needed air, slipped behind the wheel while I was inside paying for gas. Now here I was, phone in hand, dialing her number as dust kicked up from her tires. Voicemail. Straight to voicemail. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest, a mix of confusion and that gut twist of fear you get when the world tilts off its axis. What kind of fight ends like this? 3 hours earlier, we'd been laughing in the car, or at least pretending to. Our road trip to her sister's wedding was supposed to fix things, rekindle the spark that had flickered out over the last year. Sarah's job as a marketing exec kept her late, always client dinners, or team-building retreats. I'd chalked it up to ambition, supported her like a good husband should. But lately her phone buzzed at odd hours, and she'd angle the screen away, a secretive smile playing on her lips. "Work stuff, Mark," she'd say, her voice light but her eyes darting. I trusted her. God, I trusted her. As I stood there on that empty road, hitchhiking back with a trucker who smelled like stale coffee, denial wrapped around me like a blanket. Maybe her phone died. Maybe she panicked after our argument about kids, me wanting them, her stalling. It had to be a mistake. By the time I staggered into our apartment that night, blistered feet and a throbbing headache, the place felt wrong. Lights off, her suitcase gone from the closet. I called her parents, her sister. No one had heard from her. She left me here. I muttered to the empty room, sinking onto the couch where we'd binge-watched shows just last week. Her scent lingered on the pillows, floral and familiar, twisting the knife deeper. Suspicion crept in like fog, slow at first. I checked her drawer, jewelry missing, but not all of it. Then her laptop, left behind in a rush? Password unchanged. Emails popped up. Mundane work stuff, but one chain from Alex, her boss. Can't wait for tonight. Miss you already. My stomach dropped. No, couldn't be. I slammed it shut, heart racing, telling myself it was platonic. Colleagues flirt sometimes, right? The next morning, anger simmered as I paced the kitchen, coffee burning my tongue. I called her again. Ring ring voicemail. Sarah, pick up. This isn't funny. By noon, I'd driven to her office, the glass tower looming like a judgment. Her assistant, wide-eyed, said she'd called in sick. Personal emergency. Bullshit. Back home, I tore through our life. Bank statements showed withdrawals I didn't recognize, hotel charges in the city we lived in. Why hotels here? Then the photo album on her phone backup. Pictures of her laughing with a man, arms linked, at a bar I'd never been to. Alex. Her boss. The pieces clicked, but I shoved them away. Denial was my shield. Admitting it meant our 10 years together were a lie. Weeks blurred into a haze of heartbreak. I hired a PI on a whim, maxing out a credit card. She's living with him, the report said, address attached. A swanky condo downtown. I drove there one night, rain slicking the streets, parked across the road like some pathetic stalker. Through the window, I saw them, Sarah in his arms, her head thrown back in laughter. The same laugh she'd given me on our honeymoon. Bile rose in my throat. I wanted to storm in, demand answers, but my legs wouldn't move. Instead I went home, smashed a vase she'd bought in Paris. How long? I whispered to the shards. Suspicion turned to rage. I replayed every late night, every canceled date. She'd been distant, sure, but I'd blamed my long hours as a mechanic. Now it was clear. I'd been the fool, oil-stained hands building a life while she chased excitement elsewhere. Confrontation came unbidden. She showed up at our door a month later, eyes red-rimmed, suitcase in hand. Mark, I freaked out. Her voice trembled, but I saw the calculation in her gaze. I let her in, arms crossed, the apartment a mess of takeout boxes and unanswered questions. Why'd you leave me stranded? I demanded, voice low and steady, though inside I was shattering. She collapsed on the couch, tears flowing. I needed space. Things with us, they've been off. Off. I laughed bitterly. And Alex? Is he space? Her face paled. How did you? I cut her off, pulling out the emails, the photos. Denial flashed across her features. It's not what you think. He's just a friend. But her lies crumbled under my glare. 3 months, she admitted finally, voice breaking. It started as flirting. I felt trapped, Mark. You were always so predictable. Predictable? The word stung like a slap. I'd loved her steadily, built a home, dreamed of a family. Her betrayal wasn't just physical, it was emotional annihilation, shredding the trust I'd placed in her hands. Anger exploded then. Get out! I roared, shoving her things into a bag. She begged. We can fix this. I love you. But her words rang hollow, echoes of a life I'd mourned already. As she left sobbing, the door clicked shut on our marriage. Divorce papers followed, cold and final. Heartbreak lingered like a bruise, nights spent staring at the ceiling, wondering where I'd gone wrong. Was I too boring? Too devoted? The collapse of trust left me wary, walls up high. I moved cities, started fresh as a shop owner, buried the pain in work and solitude. 3 years later, my phone buzzed incessantly, 89 missed calls from an unknown number. I ignored it at first, elbow deep in engine grease. But curiosity won. When I called back, her voice cracked through the line. Mark. It's Sarah. I need help. Alex had left her, she said, after draining their accounts. Cancer diagnosis, no insurance, alone in a rundown apartment. I found you online. Please. Her desperation clawed at old wounds, stirring a storm of emotions. Pity mixed with residual anger. I pictured her, once vibrant, now broken. Part of me wanted to hang up. Let her reap what she'd sown. But the man she'd married, the predictable one, still lingered. I can't, I said softly, voice steady. You abandoned me, Sarah. Not just on that road, but in every way that mattered. Silence stretched, then her quiet sob. I'm sorry. I hung up, staring at the phone, the weight lifting slightly. Heartbreak had forged me stronger, taught me trust's fragility. As the sun set over my new life, I felt closure. Not forgiveness, but release. Yet in quiet moments I'd wonder, what if? The question lingered, a reflection on love's cruel twists, ensuring I'd never forget.